Let's speak to some people from the audience. We now take calls via Discord at davidpakman.com/Discord. You can use Discord to chat with other viewers and listeners and also to talk to me. All right. Let's start today with Tyler from St. Louis. Tyler from St. Louis, you were on the air.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
So the question I want to ask is, what is the path here going forward for like the Progressive Caucus? Because in many ways, I feel like, burn it all down, everything like that. But then the other thing is, it's like, how long is it? How long can they keep it up before it starts hurting us?
Before what starts hurting us?
Oh, the infrastructure deal.
You're saying it not being passed?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think that I think there are some people within the Progressive Caucus who really are like burn it down type accelerationists. I don't think the Progressive Caucus in general is going to ultimately say no deal if it's not a perfect deal. I think the Progressive Caucus overall understands you really can't let a perfect be the enemy of the better than what we have. And I think ultimately, if it doesn't happen, it's really going to be because of Republicans. But you're thinking that it might be the Progressive Caucus that actually prevents infrastructure from being done?
No, it's just kind of like how I personally feel about it. Like I'm like split, I mean, I understand compromise and everything like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the deal's being broken.
Tyler, are you eating something while you talk to me?
Yeah, sorry about that.
You are. What are you eating, out of curiosity?
Just a sandwich.
Sandwich. Okay. All right, good. Okay, listen, Tyler, I understand your concern. I don't think progressives are ultimately going to be the roadblock for the infrastructure bill.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to let you go. Your Discord's blinging now. Lots going on over there. I'm going to let you get back to the sandwich, which seems delicious, quite frankly. Why don't we go next to, I don't know. It's so hard to know where to go. What about Sam from New York City?
Hey, how you doing? I just wanted to ask, I know in the past, I don't know if it was a year or two ago, maybe you had Stephanie Kelton on. I was just wondering if, with maybe some of the recent stimulus packages, you've reconsidered your feelings towards MMT, or just sort of what your general sense is towards modern monetary theory.
Yeah, my general, so we've interviewed Stephanie a couple of times. My general perspective on modern monetary theory right now is that modern monetary theory makes a few important points that should be considered. One, a government and country's budget is not analogous to a household budget. It's not. And so we have to use different terms. The analogies and the comparisons to a household budget don't make sense because households can't change the money supply. That's number one. Number two, modern monetary theory makes a fantastic point, which is known outside of MMT as well, that different types of deficit spending are differently stimulative depending on what you're spending the money on. That's the second important thing. Beyond that, I'm not yet of the mindset that the government can do absolutely anything to the money supply with no impact whatsoever. I don't think that's what modern monetary theory is saying, but there are people who think that that's what it's saying, and I think that has not at all been demonstrated. So that's kind of where I am on MMT right now.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think I agree with you. I don't think real people who have studied modern monetary theory would say it's just about spending as much as you want without consequences. It's basically like, I guess my understanding is you can spend as long as the resources are there, as long as the physical and human infrastructure is there to take on whatever spending, then you can pretty much spend as much as you want because you won't have excess money chasing scarcity of goods or resources as long as you have enough resources. I guess my problem is, I just read Stephanie Kelton's book and still don't think I have a firm understanding of MMT. And so I wonder, like, I just think politically, not that we're anywhere close to Democrats promoting modern monetary theory, really, but I think there is so much promise in it, but it would take a complete restructuring of the framework of how we discuss deficits.
Oh, yeah. And remember that the debt and deficit political football is one that both Republicans and Democrats toss around to different degrees. It's the Republicans who claim to care about the deficit and then blow it up. Like, it's not a both sides thing in that sense. But both parties still benefit from a lot of the discourse around debt and deficit. And that makes it hard to break the fact that that's how they're operating.
Yeah. One thing I've thought about is, states don't have the same freedom to deficit spend because they're not producing their own currency. But if they could produce their own sort of currency, I wonder if progressive states, I don't think this is constitutional, but I think it'd be an interesting experiment if, let's say, California created its own sort of currency, could then deficit spend, implement some of the policies of MMT, and be able to fund pretty substantial government projects.
Yeah, that's seeming a little out there and unlikely as far as I'm concerned right now. But yeah. No, it's an interesting idea. All right, my friend, thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right. One of our sponsors is Allform, hands down the easiest way to custom build your own sofa. You choose the premium fabric you want. You choose the sofa size, shape, color, even the color of the legs. You can customize every aspect of your new sofa to make sure it's the perfect fit for your home. I got my first Allform sofa a year ago. I just got a second one, which is really exciting. These really are the sofas I would have bought for my home. Even if Allform was not a sponsor, you really can't beat the quality, the modern minimal design. The sofas are spill, stain, and scratch proof. You can buy one piece and start with that, and then buy more seats and accessories to add on later. Shipping is fast and free. You get 100 days to decide if you want to keep the sofa. It comes with a forever warranty, and you'll get 20% off when you go to allform.com/Pacman. The link is right underneath this video.